Everybody happy? It's Thursday now. I wanted to call it Thursday yesterday. Happy Thursday, everybody. Big waves to you. Good to see you. All right. Is everybody ready for? Well, we might all get bruised today on our toes. Okay. So I hope. So at the end, we got to sing happy birthday. So we're going to have to be very fast. It's Billy Grady's birthday. So if you got Billy's number, we'll give it out here. He'll come by, take out the trash if you ever need it. So send him a happy birthday. Billy, we hope you have the greatest day ever. So abundance is the word for today. And I'm going to try to go through my part really quick. I want you to think about this. It might take you might miss it if you're doing something. But if you look at the definition of abundance, it's a great or plentiful amount. Degree of plentifulness. The abundance you desire to experience must first be an experience in your own mind. Abundance comes from within. It comes from thought. It comes from intention, attention, and expectation. So, where I had to go this morning, because I have to do it for myself, and this is a good opportunity for you too, if you're zeroed in this morning. I want you to ask yourself, would you call yourself a person that lives in an abundance mindset or a scarcity mindset? And I'm going to give you the viewpoints. Here's the point of view from a scarcity mindset. You're a victim, a bully, or simply checked out when things get tough. An abundance person, you're in the driver's seat. Give me the ball, coach. I'm going to win the game. Which one are you? Physical energy. And let me say this. I see at times now I'm looking at myself this morning because I see at times in our life, we might have been the person that said, give me the ball, coach. I'm going to win the game. And as we age, we start saying, give the ball to somebody else. I just want to be in the game. I want to be at the top of the game. I just don't want to shoot the winning shot for fear of missing. Physical energy, scarcity person, they're contracted, their body's tense, their jaws are clenched, they're short of breath, they're gritting their teeth, they're people get on their nerves quick. Here's an abundance-minded person. They're relaxed, alert, they got good posture, they're rooted, they're balanced, they're present, they're breathing deeply and evenly. You think the abundance-minded person might live a longer? Emotional energy. Oh, let's go here. Here's scarcity. Draining energy in the room. Feeling frustrated, impatient, anxious, afraid, angry, overwhelmed, powerless. Or an abundance when it comes to emotional energy. Feeling empowered, they're engaged, positive. They're working on something bigger than themselves. They're excited about the challenge and the opportunity to grow and learn new things. And then last, mental energy, a scarcity-minded person when it comes to mental energy, confused, disorganized, narrow in their thinking, only focused on what's not working. Their typical thought pattern is, I have no choice. I have to do this. An abundance person, feeling of clarity, the ability to perceive multiple angles. They listen actively. They notice others. They're flexible. They're adaptable. I always have a choice. I share that this morning because we're all human. There's probably areas you go scarcity, areas that you go maybe abundance, but clearly the column of abundance, we would live a happier life if we were that human that could check off all the boxes of that. Not only are we happy by science, those people live longer. Those people are healthier. Those people have less chronic illness. So I challenge you to look over that. I challenge you to look from an abundance, like read up on abundance, because that could be the best well-being type of study you've done in a while. So this was a good one this morning. Andrew, I'll turn it to you.
Well, great lesson. My toes hurt. I would think, like, if you had just asked me, do you live in abundance? Do you have an abundance mindset? I might have said yes, but then you talked about the posture and I went, oh, okay. So I need to work on this. So this definitely is one of my lesser strengths. So we're going to grow on it. We're going to grow on it. So the quote that I found that I absolutely loved, the visualization of this, was abundance is scooped from abundance, yet abundance remains. And that's Anne Sexton. I'm going to read that one more time. Abundance is scooped from abundance, yet abundance remains. And I just picture this bucket, and I just was picturing kind of like our life, and we've got this bucket and it's full of so many amazing things. And from what I got out of that is that we can scoop the good, and we can scoop the good, and we can keep scooping all of this amazing, positive, gratitude, beautiful things. And that bucket is going to stay full if we focus on abundance. So what I went into is, what are some action items we can do? What can we do if maybe we struggle with this mindset? What if we tend to live in scarcity, if for whatever reason? Like, what can we do to shift that so we can live in that abundance, get those health benefits Coach talked about, and live that life? So first of all, we have to recognize the power of our thoughts. So if we take the time to notice all the all the nonsense, is kind of what I say, that rolls around between these 2 ears, that can kind of guide us throughout our day, or not kind of, that can guide us throughout our day. If we are getting less than amazing results in some area of our life, if we slow down and say, what are my thoughts around it, right? So maybe I'm, looking to improve my health, but the thoughts in my head are, well, I'm 48. This is probably as good as it's going to get. It's going to just get downhill from here. The aches are just going to get bigger, and the belly's just going to roll a little bit farther, or whatever it may be, right? And if I have those thoughts bouncing around in here, well, then I'm going to make that true. I'm going to live that. So what I need to ask myself is, what do I need to do to shift my mindset to abundance? What thoughts do I need to replace those thoughts with, so that I can realize that I can change anything moving forward? And then the second thing that we can do, and I always love when I'm home to show my little gratitude book. Thank you for all our beautiful Canadian friends. But if we want to live truly in abundance, then practice gratitude. Famous quote, Tony Robbins, he says, when you are grateful, fear disappears and abundance appears. So keep a gratitude journal. Write down all the things that you're genuinely grateful for every single day. And don't talk to me when that happens, because you guys know I'll cry. Every time I focus on gratitude, it leaks out of my eyes in a positive way. And that allows us to truly touch and feel and be more abundant. Next is, we have to cultivate and share our passions. So when we understand what drives us, when we understand what lights up our soul on fire, what creates that excitement inside of us, then we can share that passion. But we've got to figure out what it is. So we've got to take those consistent action steps to share our unique gifts and our unique passion out to the world. And with that, take the time to develop mastery. So many times we can dabble, right? I'm going to dabble, let's just pretend, in network marketing. I'm just going to put my little toes in. I'm not going to learn about the industry. I'm just going to learn my little path, and I'm not going to grow myself as a person, and I'm not going to develop mastery in that place. well, how can I expect abundance if I don't know enough about it? So think of a big goal. The action item would be, think of a big goal that you have. What does John want to create in 2024? I know it's amazing. So think of a big goal. Think of those action items to get there, and then figure out where you can develop and get that mastery on those different steps in that process. Because when you grow in that way, then your world's going to grow in that way as well. Next is to have a growth mindset. So if we can realize that we can get better, we can grow, we can improve, and everything is in our control, like Coach was talking about, or at least all the things that are, a growth mindset is going to allow us to create more abundance. And then lastly, think like a beginner. And I had this happen to me just yesterday. Have you ever thought you were an expert in anything? Right? And Marlene says no. Well, sometimes Andrea says yes. Sometimes Andrea thinks she knows best. And when that happens, you cut off any knowledge that you can gain in that area, because you're set and you just think that you know it all in that specific place. So think like a beginner instead. On day one, I didn't think I was an expert on anything, right? So remember all the different times that you've started something when you just had to be wide open to learning. You had to be wide open to falling down and trying again and falling down, trying again. If we can do that in our professional life, if we can do that in our personal life, if we can do that around, well, then we can definitely develop that abundance because we're wide open to learning in that area. So that's what I had this morning. Hopefully we can all develop this strength. Thank you, Coach, for this lesson, and happy birthday, Billy.
Hey, it was a great lesson this morning. My toes are a little sore, but other than that, it's a great lesson. So, all right, Billy, this one's for you right here. Let's clear the voice. We hadn't sang in a while. This is going to be good. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Happy
birthday,
dear
Billy.
Happy
birthday
to
you.
You're
Love you,
growing young.
Billy. Hope it's a
Hey.
great one.
Birthday, Billy.
Happy birthday, Billy.
Thanks for
Birthday,
singing
Billy.
with
Have an
us.
awesome
And
day.
grateful for you.
Have a beautiful day.
Daddy.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.